Looking for a perfect shop for your pasalubong? Online Pasalubong is here for you. Delicacies, souvenirs. Online Pasalubong caters to all needs for sweet. Loving Pasalubong to all Filipinos nationwide.
Yan, isang napakagandang hapon po sa inyong lahat and welcome to the 36th episode of Travel Talks by Philippine Travel Expo. I hope you are all doing well and I especially hope that you are all healthy and safe. But before we start, I'd like to introduce myself first. So I am Johara May Padilla, together with my partner,
I'll be Ermitanyo.
and we will be your hosts for today's event.
Hi guys! To begin, I'd like to express our gratitude to everyone who attended the last on-site Travel Expo event at Vista Mall Taguig. Also to our guests this afternoon and of course to our FB Live viewers on our FB page.
Yes, so to our Facebook Live audience, please remember to like and share our page, as well as offer your heart reactions and comments to show your gratitude and support to everyone who helped make this event possible.
Again, we encourage everyone to react, share, leave a comment to our FB Live para marami tayong matutunan at makuhang tips and tricks kapag tayo'y nagta-travel. Okay? Let's just go ahead and check the comment section down below. From Sir Aldrin, he says he can't wait to hear from Mr. Anton. We have Nina watching from Taguig. We have Rina, who says hi, and Nicole from Caloocan City. Partner?
Yes, so now to give you guys some information, Philippine Travel Expo is an online and on-site travel expo nationwide to showcase local and international travel agencies, restaurants, hotels, destinations, and many exciting travel services.
And under Philippine Travel Expo, we have this wonderful event wherein we can interview and interact with different well known travelers, influencers, and business owners.
Yes, so I'm sure that you are all excited. So let us now introduce our guest speaker for today. He is the founder of Our Awesome Planet, which he started in 2005, is one of the leading food and travel blog and digital creator in the Philippines with millions of followers and readers, and is still organically growing. So his advocacy is to promote the food and travel secrets of a destination and to inspire Filipinos to live an awesome life in Christ. In 2015, he received the first Tourism Star Award for Media from the Department of Tourism for his invaluable contribution in promoting Philippine cuisine and destinations through his blog, Our Awesome Planet, thereby encouraging tourists to visit and taste the best of what the Philippines has to offer. Let us all welcome Mr. Anton Diaz.
Hello, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Good
Good
afternoon to
afternoon,
everyone
Mr.
watching
Anton.
on the live stream. Yeah.
Okay, hi, Mr. Diaz. It's a great pleasure to meet you this afternoon. So, sir, before we formally start the event, I would just like to ask, kamusta po kayo? How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, of course, we're feeling awesome. Medyo maulan lang dito
Yes, sir.
where we are. So, yeah.
Okay, sir, nakakainom na po ba kayong tubig? Have you already eaten?
Yes,
Okay,
we're actually traveling. We're at the farm at San Benito. So, this is a very beautiful place, no. Sa medical wellness place here in Batangas. So, ang ganda. Ayun lang, umuulan lang. But it's
all
really
right.
nice. How are you, Johara and Ree? How are you guys?
Yes, sir, I am doing good po. It's nice to meet you po.
Nice to
I'm
meet you
doing
guys.
great din, sir, here on my end. Salamat. And thank you for asking. Okay,
Yeah.
I think we can proceed with our the formal, uh, the formalities of the event. Okay. So, sir, I'm glad that you're okay. You're doing fine. Um, I think we can already proceed with our question and answer portion for this event. Okay, ready
Okay.
na po, sir?
Game, go. Yes.
Okay, perfect. On to you, partner.
Okay, so how did you start this traveling career, sir?
Wow. Okay. So we started our blog, Our Awesome Planet, in 2005. So that's like 17 years ago. So we started it because the blog, our site, was a love letter to our sons. So during that time, my first son, Aidan, was born. 2005. So we really wanted to document lang our adventures, and then we also want our kids to be proud of the Philippines. In 2005, maybe kayo bata kasi kayo. Ngayon, you can feel, Filipino pride, may hashtag Filipino pride, no? In 2005, wala yun. A lot of people are traveling outside the country, going to Hong Kong, going to Southeast Asia. Or ang alam lang ng mga taong puntahan was Boracay at the time. So, and we started our Awesome Planet. Actually, because we love beaches eh. And at the time, I realized, wow, ang ganda pala ng mga beaches ng Philippines. And hindi lang Boracay yung maganda, but a lot of places. So we went to, actually, after Boracay, we went to this place in Cebu. Nakapunta na ba kayo in Cebu? There's this twin beaches in Cebu. So nabasa mo sa mga Lonely Planet at the time and mga may maganda daw beach doon. So it's a twin island of what you call Malapascua and Bantayan. So yun, pinunta muna namin yun. And that set, dun na, I got the travel bug when we visited Malapascua and then Bantayan. Sobrang ganda in Santa Fe in Bantayan. And then we traveled to all around the beaches, no? We love beaches. And then food, of course. And we bring our kids along with us. So after 17 years, we have 4 boys now. 4 boys. So Aidan is 17 years old. And the youngest is 8 years old, si Yugi. And then you have Joshua and Rafael. Si Joshua is 14, Rafael is 12. So yun, nag-iiba rin yung dimension ng travel namin kasi madami, we travel 6 when we travel with the family. So it's nag-change rin yung dimension. But at least ngayon, our kids are able to, they can read what happened, nung bata sila, where we've been going, ganyan, the experiences. Siyempre, the younger ones ngayon, like for example, sila Yugi or the younger ones, they love the reels, no? And that's why we do a lot of reels or short form video. Kasi yun yung nila eh, parang that's how they experience the place, no? So like for example now, we're in the farm at San Benito with my wife Rach. So sila nasa house. So we are doing the reels. Not really primarily for the people, the followers, but for the kids kasi they want to see. Tatanungin kami, ano ba yung ginawa niyo diyan sa the farm at San Benito? So that's why we're doing, a lot of these short form videos for them also. And then we continue to blog for 17 years. And the objective naman is to share a lot of this information to people, especially now na nagbago, after pandemic, ang daming nangyari talaga. Like, ang daming mga bagong businesses, ang daming mga travel. So like, a case in point lang, itong The Farm at San Benito, we've been here like years ago also when we were starting the blog. And now, we came back after the pandemic, ang laki na. And, there are like luxury villas and ang dami na nilang mga services na medical, and they're now the medical wellness center, no, in the Philippines. So ang dami ring mga new chefs, new places. Yun.
Thank you, sir. So na-cover natin yung background niya, sir, immediately, no? And then we were able to get a glimpse of the life that you're having and that you're having. And is this do you consider yourself a professional traveler? Is it a passion hobby? Is it a profession? Sir.
Yes. Good question. So we work for a big multinational company, before I did this. I worked for Procter & Gamble Philippines, and I was the parang IT head at the time. And then during that time, so mga 2005 to 2008, we're able to see na, social media, the one that we're experiencing now, would really boom, no? So I decided to quit my day job siguro noong mga 2008 and never went back to a full-time thing, no? So this is what we do full time with my wife, Rach. So we travel. We do also like mga food projects, but around that field. No, early on in our career, we were doing tour guiding. Ganyan. We have a project called Ultimate Philippines. We are doing tour guides. Right now, we're also launching some of our new destinations. No, we wanted to go. And then we're also inviting foreigners to discover the Philippines. So, ganon. We've been doing this, yun nga, since officially mga 2008 ako kasi nag-quit ng job eh. So, ever since 2008, we're professional content creators since that time.
Ang galing, sir. So, since ang dami niyo na pong napuntahan and you would consider yourself as a traveler, how would you define the word travel po, sir?
Ako, it's when we look at travel, it's really for us an educational experience. Eh. So you wanted to discover new cultures, to discover new, to meet new people. We want to, as part of culture, food is very important. So ano bang mga ginagawa nila sa mga lugar na yon? And yun, that's what keeps us continuing to travel, no? We want to be educated on what's happening in in our awesome planet. Kasi nga, God created, a lot of awesome things around the world, and we want to discover a lot of them. At the same time, aside from education, when you travel, you educate yourself. You also want to parang help out ba, 'di ba? Parang to give back to them. And yun, so it's a culture of helping each other out, and not necessarily lang, confined within the Philippines or Filipinos. Kasi the more that you travel, the more you educate yourself, the more that become a better person, and you realize, there are, the world operates on love, no? Helping each other out.
So helping each other out and then an educational experience. So, do you have any recent travels to share that you were able to have a new knowledge about, or just a recent experience from your recent travels?
Yes. So recently, siguro internationally, our recent experience, okay, sorry, yeah. So recently, I think one of the, the first time you travel after the pandemic is a whole, especially international travel, when you go outside the Philippines. So early, a couple of months ago, we went to Spain. There's this part of Spain called Malaga, which is, has a mountain area and near the beach, no, parang parang Philippines. And it's great to understand how what's happening with them, after the pandemic. We had a travel blogging conference in Malaga, in Marbella, Spain. The statistics, at least in our industry, no, the travel content creators or travel bloggers, siguro mga 70% of the travel bloggers before pandemic, nawala na. Meaning they changed career, or they moved on, or they were not able to survive the pandemic. So, of course, there are those who have been in the industry for a longer time. Sila nag-survive. But also, there are a lot, alam mo, ang dami ring nagsimula ngayon during the pandemic. Right before the pandemic lang, 2019, they started their TikTok channel, or, their Instagram, and then pandemic hit. Yun, sila yung mga nagtra-thrive also. So we have also, like, it was interesting to know how the other content creators around the world are able to, di ba, ang favorite term was pivot, no? Or how they, during the pandemic, how they were able to survive. Kanya-kanyang diskarte lahat yan. At the same time, when we were talking to the destination, the destination tourism officer, from Malaga, Andalusia, that area. Yun, kanya-kanya rin silang promotion. No? There are different ways they were able to promote the place. Syempre, yung the areas near the beaches, near nature, yun talaga nag-thrive rin yun. Kasi a lot of people are, preferring to go to the beach or to alfresco area. Syempre, initially, when you go out of the Philippines, masyashock ka kasi wala nang nagmamask. And in the same way, when they travel to the Philippines, nasyashock din sila, nakamask tayo lahat palagi. So, ganon, it's really interesting, to learn how people are able to, adapt during this pandemic. And in fact nga, when you're outside the country, kapag let's say you're in Europe or in the US, kapag nakamask ka, feeling nila ikaw yung may sakit, 'di ba? Um or tinitis nila yung mga nakamask. pag nami-meet mo,
Oo.
pag nami-meet mo sa daan, sasabihin sa'yo, oh, you have a nice mask. You have a cute mask. Sa mga ganon. So, just interesting to discover how people are now really discovering the place. Dati kasi, when people travel, it is a checklist, no? So, I need to go this. You have to take a picture, ganyan. Ngayon, a lot more people are parang trying to slow down in a bit and get to discover the place. So, for example, just a recent example in Malaga, when we went to Malaga in Spain, parang ayaw na namin yung checklist. We want to know, we look for sino ba yung mga Filipinos in this area, and we wanted to meet them. Yung first time namin na-meet itong mga to. And we want to understand, what happened, how is life in Malaga, how is life in this area. So ganon. I think at least travel is becoming more enriching, enriching in terms of both ways. No, I learned what they're doing and maybe how I can help them. And then ganun din, vice versa. They help me experience the place for what it is, and hindi lang yung, you go to this museum, you take this picture as an Instagrammable place. Parang ganun. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Ayun po. Pero since nakapag-share po kayo ng travel experience niyo po dun sa Spain, so what are your most unforgettable tourist destination po na napuntahan niyo? Can you share some experiences po sa place na yon po para po ma-encourage natin ang mga viewers natin for today and explore and visit that place din po?
Okay. So I'll share a few things, no. First, locally, no, in the Philippines, ang favorite na place pa rin namin napuntahan is if you talk to a lot of the travel writers, travel bloggers, ito in top of their list, no. And this place is a place called Batanes, in the north. Kasi ang authentic ng mga tao doon. Meaning, they really you get to experience what Ivatan culture is, ganyan, experience the food. And then syempre maganda yung nature, the nature scenes, no, as they would say, it looked like Ireland or New Zealand. And ganon, maganda rin talaga yung escape, but I guess there's a charm. May ano kasi yan tatlong islands. So you have Itbayat, Batan Island, and Saptang. So as part of when you try to go to the Batanes Islands, you have to go from Batad to Sabtang, no? And there's a boat, and the boat is called Falowa. And the Falowa, parang U-Haul shaped boat siya na walang katig. We're used to boat na may katig yung may dalawang Ito, U-Haul lang. And the reason it is a U-Haul boat is nagsasway siya sa waves kasi nag-cross siya ng channel So talagang lakas ng waves, no? And I was experiencing, how to ride the Falowa to Saptang, and Saptang has its own unique culture din also. So, that's one of the awesome experience. And then aside from Batanes, of course, Palawan is on top of everybody's list. But there's this particular adventure called Tao Philippines. Yung ano, sila yung nagpauso nung you go from Coron to El Nido, 7 days, you hop from one island to another using a boat expedition. Ang galing. So you ride the boat, you go to one island. Ngayon may mga campsites na sila. So you go to the campsites, you stay overnight in a campsite. So parang adventure lang 7 days. Um, and I think that those are the two experiences na always blew my mind kasi ang ganda eh. It's a really authentic experience. You meet the people, you meet, you experience what life is in those islands. Internationally naman, siguro marami na rin kami experience internationally. But ang lagi namin kinukwento na most memorable is when we went to our first time in Africa, and this is in Morocco, no? In Morocco kasi, when you fly there, walang visa, walang visa kasi sa Morocco. So the Filipinos can travel anywhere there. So sabi ko sa wife ko, let's go. One of the key centers there is called Marrakesh. Okay? Kasi mahilig rin kami sa Moroccan food. Sabi ko, let's go to let's go to Marrakesh. And our travel friends say, oh, when you go to Morocco or you go to Marrakesh, you stay in a riad. Riad is a traditional home ng mga Moroccans. So it's parang a home. And instead of going to a hotel, no? So sabi ko, sige, yeah, let's go to a riad. And then when we went to Marrakesh, yung riad na nabook namin was in the center of the souk, no? Which is a big market. And talaga maku-culture shock first time mo mag-arrive sa Marrakesh kasi it's totally different culture. People are looking at you, ganyan. And then parang feeling mo na nakawang ka or hindi mo alam saan ka pupunta. The alleys around the souk are really dark, especially when we arrived gabi na. Ganon. And then you going to a riad, na small alleys, ganon. And we're looking for, mahilig kami kumain, no? There's this place called Meshway Alley, which is known for roasted lamb. So hinahanap namin yon, ganon. Marami kami misadventures on discovering the place. And ganon. We always, of course, love the destinations that totally different from what we are used to here, of course, in Southeast Asia.
Wow, speechless. This is the lifestyle you've had with your families or with your four children. Um, I just would like to ask now, how is the stability? Do you have a home here in the Philippines or abroad to build some sort of security or foundation for the family? Or are you just guys like a rolling stone that gathers no moss? Paano po
Yeah.
ang family dynamic nyo? How does it work that you guys are traveling as a family?
Yes.
Is home where the heart is, or there's it actually a home?
Yes. So early on, actually we wanted to be a nomad, no? Parang we have some friends na nomad rin talaga. Meaning they move from one destination to another, ganyan. But for us, we decided to have our base. No, our base is here in the Philippines, of course, because we want our kids to grow up and understand the Filipino culture, to love the Philippines. The food, the places. Before they go out, kasi a lot of the new generation, the Gen Z, as you would call them, lahat sila labas na lang kagad lahat, di ba? Parang gusto nila, they're global citizens, they want to discover the world. Now, if they kasi go out early on, usually hindi na rin sila bumabalik ng Philippines. That's a big issue rin kasi Philippines have a lot of talents in the hospitality, in the medical industry, ang lahat. And nangyayari ngayon, a lot of them are traveling outside, no, or migrating outside. And because there are a lot of requirements, no, a lot of the countries are old na rin, no, parang old. There are only two countries in the world where the average 50% of the population is under the age of 24 or 25, and that's the Philippines and Indonesia. So our competitive advantage, if you would say around the world, is that we're very young, and the thing is, the if we lose all those youth to the other countries, sayang naman, di ba? We need to build the Philippines also. Of course, there's a discussion on political instability, etc. But let's set that aside. Just usually naman, if you don't think about the political landscape, for example, of the Philippines, we really want to build the Filipino as a nation with our youth, no? Kasi yun na yung advantage natin eh. We don't want them to go out. Now, maybe, they'll go out, but at the same time, we want them to go back, no? And to help the country. Parang ganon. And we want to build the Filipino connection kasi ang laki niyang connection na yan eh, the Filipino youth. If they start traveling outside as early, they won't be able to build that network, no? So we travel lang when so syempre they're studying, so we travel during summer, during the breaks lang. Ngayon kasi may online pa sila, nakakatakas ka pa, di ba? You travel and nag-online sila dun sa hotel or where you are. But I think they're forcing na everybody to do face to face. So it becomes harder to travel during school days, no? Unless you homeschool them. And early on inisip na namin ng wife ko, oh, let's do homeschool ngayon, pero hindi namin nagawa. Ang hirap. Salute to all the parents who do homeschooling for their kids kasi ang galing eh, ang galing rin ng mga homeschool kids. But it's just hard lang for one of the parents needs to do full time on it. So hindi namin nagawa yan. So our base is here in Laguna, and yun. And then we just travel from time to time. And then we meet our friends, of course, internationally. Okay naman. We invite them to the Philippines and vice versa.
Yes. I was gonna ask nga po, sir, kanina, how about the education of your
Yes.
children po. Pero, ayun. I would just want to ask po if you could give us some places po na gusto nyong mapuntahan or yung nasa bucket list nyo po ngayon. And as much as possible po sana within the Philippines lang po para makater natin ang ating mga viewers na mga Filipinos, ganun, na gustong i-discover ang Philippines more.
Yes. Oo. So, I think on because we've traveled around the Philippines, but I would say we traveled Visayas and Luzon lang. We've covered most of them. So, I really want to discover more of Mindanao. Kasi Mindanao is the most beautiful place. Kasi hindi siya, because not a lot of people travel to Mindanao. Ang kaganda ng mga destinations, no? Um, um, hindi siya kumbaga as you say Las Pag, no? Or kasi siya bago lahat ng mga destination. The food in Mindanao is really good. And yun lang, hoping that the Mindanao destinations, no, from kung we've been to Batanes, we want to, of course, experience Tawi-Tawi all the way to the south, the Zamboanga, the Maranao culture, the Davao. So, yun. Actually, maraming maraming mga nasa Mindanao na destinations. A lot of new surfing places there. So you want to discover them kasi I believe we'll learn a lot from them as well. And I know it's probably not a popular answer because a lot of people say, in the common destinations. But sure, I mean, the usual places are still there. Palawan, Batanes, Siargao, Boracay, those are there. And if you haven't been to them, start discovering one of them, no? But to our Mindanao brothers, I think Ganda kasi ang na-discover na paunti-unti yung Mindanao food eh. Ang sarap eh. Sarap yung pianggang nila na food, ganyan. And then the different culture, in terms of dances, in terms of the costumes, etc. Ang ganda eh. So, but I want to be able to to go to a place na and it's really safe to go around, to discover the heritage of the people there and to meet more new friends and maybe we can help them, kasi some of those destinations can benefit from tourism. Eh. It creates jobs and people can really discover those places.
So you've talked about jobs and you've talked about traveling for almost a decade now. Okay, and you're also a family man. Um, we understand how managing our personal finance can get. For example, I have an experience in the corporate world where sweldo kami. We get our salary on the 15th and the 13th with deducting the contributions and so on and so forth. Now, as a professional traveler, how do you manage your expenses? How do you manage traveling or how do you manage budgeting?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. And yeah, of course, it's you cannot compare kasi the lifestyle of an entrepreneur like us versus those people who are in employment. I understand the stability is nice, of course, but when a lot of people were attracted to the online world. Tim Ferriss said there's this new rich. No, it's not only the richness in money, but the richness in time. Anytime you can go to a different place, anytime you can, be together with your kids. So for us, of course, we want to be there for our kids while they're growing up, and that's one of the choices we have to make. Um, and being an entrepreneur is one of it's a journey, of course. Being an entrepreneur, you do ups and downs, um, and ano, parang you need to learn how to create money out of the blue from scratch, diba? So you can do a lot of projects. We have done a lot of projects in the past related to travel. As I said, we did Ultimate Philippines at the time. We do food tours in Pampanga, Batanes, a lot of those places. And now we're actually restarting it. For example, we're doing uh, tours to destinations that we love to go. Like, for example, one in our bucket list is Bhutan. So we launched an awesome tour to Bhutan and inviting some friends who also want to, experience Bhutan. And of course, it's a nice destination, but they say it's the happiest place in the world. And the Bhutan survives on tourism, and it's I think did you know 90% of the products in Bhutan are organic? So, it's kind of fascinating to understand that destination. So, instead of like just thinking, okay, going to Bhutan is $3,000, di ba? Yun yung budget mo roughly. So instead of, iniipon namin yung, gumagawa ka ng project, di ba? Gumagawa ka ng tour, maybe you invite like 6 to 10 people to join you. And, and so that you can be part of it. Of course, since we've been in the industry for a long time. We work with hotels, with restaurants, etc. So usually doon, ano naman yun eh, minsan we help each other out na lang, di ba? We promote them, they provide us food, ganon. So you cannot really compare the equation. And at the same time, during the pandemic, we launched a sister project. No, we have Awesome 10x. The Awesome 10x, we teach people to do global investing and crypto, no, and blockchain education. So, kung may na-save ka na, let's say, $100, some people just save it, di ba? Why not? For example, ngayon, baksak na yung crypto, baksak na yung, did you know, like, for example, Grab. Ang Grab ngayon is $3. That's 150 pesos per share. So why not, invest some of your, or put some of the money, let's say, meron kang, just buy $10 of, 10 shares of Grab. Then every month you buy 10 shares. And especially for you guys, you're really young. Alam mo, ang mura na ng some of the, for example, C Limited is $60 per share. As C Limited is the parent company who owns Shopee. Airbnb. Did you know that Airbnb shares na bumagsak na siya to $100? So that's 5,000 pesos. You own one share of Airbnb. So pag kumita sila ng limpak-limpak, like 5-10 years now, yung 5,000 pesos mo, pwede mag 10x. So instead of just paying for your Airbnb, tinatabi mo yung ibang part to own Airbnb, di ba? Ganun din, same thing with Facebook, especially during this time, 2022, because the market corrected, the global market corrected. You can buy Tesla, you can buy Google, you can buy Apple, be an owner, by doing a share. So, I mean, naging iba na lang, you have to really change the whole mindset instead of just relying on the salary. You need to be creative. So you save like 25%, invest it in Grab or the companies that you like, so that mag-exponential yon. Kahit ngayon, we're in a recession, may mga downturn, magte-10x yung money mo doon, di ba? So, parang ganun. And then, you do a lot of projects, mga related projects to what you want to do. And then, we also teach. Like, we teach digital marketing and global investing. So, ganun. I mean, it takes time to get into like parang that different lifestyle. And especially kayo, you guys are quite young. Now's the time for you to parang start to figure out, maybe if this is lifestyle. I know this is not for everyone, no? But if parang tinatawag kayo na maging entrepreneur, now's the time to experiment. Especially pag wala pa kayong mga anak. Wala pa kayong mga anak. Now's the time to do it. When I quit in 2008, I have 2 kids na. So Aidan was born 2005. Josh was born 2007. So we have 2 boys na at the time. And sabi ko, magkukwit pa ba tayo sa job natin? Si Rach, my wife, was working for Globe at the time, or Innove. Nag-quit din siya. So sabi namin, do we risk it? We quit this? It was risky for us kasi we have kids na. Pero kasi naisip namin, kapag nag-aral na yon, which is, they will study like us after 5-7 years at the time, hindi na namin kaya mag-quit, no? At the time. So, we risked it. And minsan nga, I see some young people there saying, ang hirap. Wala kasi kung monthly salary. Wala ka pa namang, I'm sure you've been staying at your parents' house. Wala ka pang responsibility for a new kid. And then you feel na it's risky to go entrepreneurship route. I think it's a matter of perspective lang. But the earlier that you do it, you learn how to create projects, earn money, create the income flow, and then start saving. When I say saving, hindi lang kasi when you're an employee, nagsisave ka, parang save ka ng ganito yung money and then you spend the money, no? For let's say travel later on. But investing talaga, investing to, you can buy shares of Tesla and all the companies. Even you're Filipinos, even you're in the Philippines, hindi lang Philippine stock market. So I think that's part of some of our education that we wanted to do. But I realize also na this kind of information is not for everyone kasi people are saying, hindi, kasi ganyan ka na, you've been in that industry for a while. mahirap kasi I'm doing food and travel. Sino ba akala ko nga diversified na yun eh. Sino ba tinamaan during the pandemic? It's the restaurants and the hotels, no, for 2 years. So we had to be creative within 2 years also to survive the pandemic. Yun. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. So ang daming risks and ang daming risks and benefits ng talaga
Oo.
no, sir, ng
Marami rin
traveling and
benefits.
lalo na sa expenses. And
Oo.
ayun, sir, since you have been traveling for quite some time now, and you have been sharing like different cultures with different people po. How do you deal with it? Like, especially with their culture and especially their language po. So how do you deal with this kind of things po?
Okay. Of course, you need to authentically want to learn new cultures. No?
Yes.
For example, and if you want, you need to learn the language. Kahit the simple thank yous lang, yeah, terima kasih in Indonesia, or shukran. Magano, you have to start to understand them. Pero ako, I love understanding their culture through food. Kasi once na nag-usap na kayo ng food, iba na eh. Iba na, parang hindi ka na, like right now, here in the farm, Simran Sablani is she's from Hong Kong. Gumagawa siya ng, meron siyang vegetarian cookbook, so meron siyang tasting dinner dito for 2 nights. If you just talk about, their country or their nationality, wala eh, ang hirap eh. Like, there's no common ground. So you have to talk about food, no? Once you talk about food, ano ba, even if that's vegetarian food, sarap ng food eh. They love chili, they love ganyan. I understand why kasi uh, kumakain naman kami ng gulay ng mga vegetarian, but I don't really appreciate it until last night. Kasi sobrang sarap ng dinner na it's called a mad dinner, a spark of madness here in the farm. Last night to today, I posted a reel about the experience sa our Awesome Planet na Instagram. No? So yun, we get to connect with them through the food, and we get to talk about what is it in Hong Kong, ganyan, paano niya nagawa yung mga food na to, gano'n. Kasi ginawa niya lang yung cookbook niya during the pandemic din. So, it was interesting to understand her entrepreneurial journey or paano siya naging author ng cookbook na yon. And then, it's all vegetarian. Hindi siya chef hindi pa nga siya cook eh. Parang ano lang siya, she's just passionate. I guess, like a lot of people, a lot of Filipinos in the pandemic, siya lang, naisip niya lang, since gagawin ko na to, karirin na natin to. Gawa na ako ng cookbook, and then the recipes are around Southeast Asia. So, and then ngayon, she's doing a tour around Southeast Asia about her cookbook. So, ganon. And we found out that as long as you talk about food with other cultures, a common ground to talk about, then that's when you learn genuinely about the culture. And then in terms of language, we started to learn about how they say delicious in other language, ganun, how to do cheers, di ba? Sloncha in in Europe, in Sweden, mga ganon. You started to learn the food and drinks language, then okay ka na. Kasi those are the common things eh, di ba? The thank yous, etc. Yeah.
All right, sir. First, I just want to compliment. It really rubs off on you na you're a well-traveled man. Talaga, it really shows. It really shows. You're a great
Thank you.
conversationalist. You already know what you're talking about, and I know it's not part of traveling, but I know you had to survive for 2 years during the start of the pandemic, and you got a little bit more entrepreneurial. Um, Actually, sir, one of the best things about being entrepreneurial is you get fun to try other aspects, other fields, such
Yes.
as yeah, such as the cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. Here in the Philippines, we have the Pag-ibig MP2 program. We have
Yeah.
digital banking, such as um, CIMB, sir, if you're familiar. We
Yes,
have
of course.
Conic and ING, right?
Yes, of
Um,
course.
ang magandang diskarte, sir, is you have the ability to be entrepreneurial and you have the stability. So maganda yun, sir, parang dual building.
Oh, yes, correct.
And then, yeah, I would just wanted to compliment what a great conversationalist you are. You're a
Thank
very well educated man. So, ito na yung next question ko. Sa lahat-lahat ng nilakbay niyo, sir, for what you've
Okay.
traveled so far, ano ang pinakamasarap? Luto ba ng nanay niyo, sir? Luto ng lola niyo? Or somewhere else?
um, I think one of the main reason we traveled for food is that we actually did not grew up with a foodie family. Meaning, when we were growing up, like my mom hindi naman nagluto, ganyan. So the usual food lang. And I just really got curious on kasi we met a lot of mga foodie families, meaning, those families na bata ka pa lang, sa sarap na ng mga kinakain mo, di ba? Hindi lang yung rice and isang ulam. And it doesn't need to be expensive also, no? And we met them, and early on, siguro yung mga when I was starting, kasi na-curious ako dun sa, sa Pampanga. Sabi ko, bakit ang sasarap ng mga pagkain, mga pagkain sa Pampanga, ganyan. And I had a friend, si Spanky, who toured us around Pampanga, and that started our journey into food, no? And so, of course, the best food is always where it is originated, di ba? Parang Kapampangan food is best experience in Pampanga. Ganun din, Spanish food is best. So, and that's the main reason why we travel. It's We travel primarily for the food. I think Filipinos generally, I think some of the people I met travel for the food. Of course, the young ones before traveled for the gram, pero I think generally even those people love to eat pa din eh. Kahit na, you take pictures of your food. Filipinos enjoy the food and drinks, 'di ba? Drinking cocktails and other drinks. So, I think to answer your question, yeah, the food is best to those places. And we usually look for heritage recipes here in the Philippines and there, and then experience it from there. We really, really appreciate it. And we won't have anything to compare it with my mom's or even my wife. Kasi iba yung wala kaming ganyang heritage food.
Okay, sir. Ang galing. Pero totoo, sir, sobra pong legit yung it's for the gram, lalo na yung, kahit yung
Oo.
food, sir. Pero ayun, sir, balikan po natin sana yung sa, kanina, yung sa pandemic, sir.
Yes.
So, since mahirap na, sabi mo po, nahihirapan po kayo mag-travel, lalo na ngayon, ano po kaya masasabi nyo tungkol sa current tourist system ng Pilipinas po para sa ating mga travelers?
I think so there are a few good things, no. During Secretary Berna Romulo Puyat's time, I think yung during the pandemic marami silang maling nagawa, but before the pandemic ends, 'di ba they opened the Philippines? 'Di ba wala nang quarantine? I think that's the best thing that the secretary did, na we're one of those countries na walang quarantine, people could go, opening it up. Of course, still that's not enough, no? But it's a good start na, we open up the Philippines, and then now Singapore, di ba, opened up also. So we're one of those leading thought leaders in this space. But tourism is all about jobs, no? And hindi pa rin bumabalik yung of course some of the tourists, no. Before the pandemic, yung pinakamaraming tourists natin dito is from China and Korea. So hindi pa rin bumabalik lahat 'yon. And then of course the Europeans hindi pa rin bumabalik. Although if you think about it, mas marami naman nag-travel domestically, di ba? Nagdoble yung mga domestic travelers. So maganda and then now with Secretary Frasco, I think the plan is to strengthen the Filipino brand of hospitality, the internet connection where you are, the basic infrastructure. I think that's the right approach kasi nga yun yung mga common comments ng mga tourists, no, why they don't travel to the Philippines. Dati kasi parang sabi na, hindi, dahil nasa Philippines tayo. But once you compare us to other countries like Bali or, other tourist destination, we're behind, di ba? So, yun, we need to fix that. Parang the basic infrastructure, just traveling from one place to another, ganyan. And make sure na walang manloloko sa'yo, di ba? Na walang manloloko na taxi driver or whatever. So yun, I think that is being done. But it takes a lot more pa rin kasi nga since hindi pa bumabalik yung some of the big tourist groups. So wala pa rin masyadong jobs yung some of the destination. And even for those na mga travelers na pumupunta na, they're limited to certain destination lang, di ba? Like, pupunta lang silang Boracay or Palawan. Paano naman yung ibang lugar, di ba? They probably go Siargao, ganyan. But paano naman yung mga ibang lugar? And the travel kasi, ang maganda lang nangyari after pandemic, a lot of people try to travel now to less known destinations. Hindi na yung mga mga popular lang. Kasi alam nila yung mga popular, maraming tao, di ba? And then at the same time, they want to discover new cultures then, new food, ganyan. So, mas naging open yung mga minds ng mga tourists to go to this other places. So, but I think collectively, we can help in promoting the Philippines talaga to all our friends in social media. Yun, sana lang may concerted effort tayo. Kasi we are one of the biggest social media, capital in the world, no? And I think hindi lang natin na harness pa fully promoting the Philippines. Of course, there's this, syempre merong nuances kasi with Philippine politics. But if you just remove Philippine politics aside, if you can just get together and promote Philippine food, Philippine destinations, I think we'll be able to really attract a lot of people to our destinations, even to the lesser known destinations.
Actually, sir, you pointed out Koreans and our other Asian brothers and sisters. I remember one YouTuber in particular. She's from Korea, and her name was Jessica Lee. If you're familiar,
Yes, of course. Yeah.
She's from the Korea. She's from the Korea. She's from Korea, and she travels a lot here in the Philippines, and she tries to promote all the beauty, all the culture, the food, and the places. And I think that's really nice of her. The advocacy that she's trying to, the advocacy that she tries to paint the Philippines in a bright color. So yun po.
Yeah.
Galing nga eh. What advice? Okay, so for young travelers, for aspiring entrepreneurs and professional travelers, what advice or tips can you give to those who are planning to start? Because sir, you've experienced this for almost a decade now. You're a veteran in this field, so for example, youngsters like me that would want to experience or they want to start in this field. What sort of information can you give to them? Or some
Yes.
tips and tricks.
So, how young are you guys pala? Ri and Johanna, how young are you guys?
Wala niyo, sir.
Hindi ka mahirap hulaan sa streamer, di ba?
Sir, I am 21 years old po.
Wow, Gen Z na Gen Z, eh, Ri.
Ah, 21 din po, sir. Hindi lang halata.
Uy, so graduate na kayo. Graduate na kayo.
Graduating, sir, hopefully.
Ako,
Anong
sir,
course?
this academic year.
I am taking up Bachelor of Arts in English Language Studies po in National University Manila po.
Wow. Ikaw, Ri?
And sir, I am from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Industrial Engineering po ako.
Wow, IE. Okay. So, particularly for your generation, no, the Gen Z, kasi my kid is Gen Z, 17, no. Of course, I want him to study first in the Philippines. And then after that, like when he's 21 years old, like you guys, um, you start to figure out your way. Now, the first thing you need to do is to build what I call a war chest. Meaning, you need to save money. Siyempre, also you need to learn things, no? So like for example, like si Johara, teaching English is very profitable in travel. So if you go around, may mga certifications yan. So you can get the certification so you could teach in Korea or teach in other countries, no? Or maybe work in some industries na very profitable when you're traveling. And there are two big industries that the world is recruiting Filipinos. The one is hospitality industry, meaning restaurants or hotels, baristas, cook, etc. Yun, very profitable yun. And second, syempre the medical industry, ng mga nursing, etc. Or digital marketing is where Filipinos are known for digital marketers, no. So you learn SEO or learn how to do things. Be a master of making reels or short form videos or TikTok na lang. A lot of people need help with TikTok, etc. So, but you have to build a war chest. Ano ba yung war chest? You need to think about it. You need to build enough money so that you can travel for 1 year. Okay, think about it. How much money do you need to travel for an entire year without na hindi mo na siya iisipin? Kailangan kasi the problem kasi with transitioning to entrepreneurship, pag inisip mo na kailangan ko kumita every month, talo ka na kagad doon. Kailangan mawala yun sa mind mo na kailangan mo kumita every month. Ano ba yung kailangan mong money para for 1 year, hindi mo isipin yun. Na, kasi iipunin mo yun eh. Maybe, let's say, that number is, hindi naman 1M. Siguro, let's say, 500,000 or even 800,000. So, your first thing that you do in your career, is maybe go for unemployment, save some of your money, 25%, okay, buy the global companies that you love, no, even crypto, sige, Bitcoin and Ethereum, buy Tesla, buy Airbnb, yung mga really popular na that you will explode, no. Para kasi usually that explodes to 10x in 10 years. So kumbaga, pag 31 ka na, solve ka na. So you only grind for 10 years, kumbaga. You grind for 10 years. You save 25% for global investing, another 25% to build this war chest nga. And then the 50%, ikaw na bahala. No? But at least, in your mind, you're building your war chest, you have a global investment that will grow 10x in 10 years. And then once you build skills, no, that is profitable globally. And then and then set a time in a year, maybe realistically it would probably take you guys 3 to 4 years to build like that kind of savings. And then after your mga 24, start to go travel talaga 1 year and then build your ang maganda ang ginagawa ng iba kasi I again I met all these travel bloggers internationally. Ang ginagawa nila, they get mga 2 or 3 people to build this dream with. They would compute magkano bang Airbnb sa Spain, mura ang mga Airbnb sa Spain eh. Ganon. And then they will share the Airbnb, di ba? Instead, so kukumputin niya na magkano yung Airbnb for 1 month, 2 months, di ba? Tapos, hati-hati kayo doon sa Airbnb. And then you assume na hindi kayo kumikita, parang you have that money na, di ba? Parang nakasave na yun. And then, yun. And then, of course, you have to think about visa. You guys, did you know na may global nomad visa na ang Spain? So you can apply for a global nomad visa sa Spain. So meaning they're attracting the nomads to stay there. And then did you know that if you stay in Spain for 2 years, you can apply for citizenship because we're a former colony. Will become a Spanish citizen. Dual, you don't have to give your Filipino citizenship. It's dual after 2 years of. So if I were you, now, I would plan a 2-year stay in Spain, apply for the Spanish citizenship para dual ka na. Once you have the passport of Spain, you don't need to apply for visa anywhere else. Because you have a European visa. If you have a European citizenship, you can work anywhere in Europe. Minus London kasi nag-Brexit sila. So, ganon. And maybe ask some friends to do it with you. Ganyan. Mura lang kasi yung Airbnb sa Spain. If you get a few friends who can share like an Airbnb. And then, if you can work remotely, like let's say teaching English on Zoom, ganyan, you can do that anywhere, di ba? Or doing some freelance work or etc. Or, applying for a barista work. Hindi, yung working kasi in other countries, iba kasi yun eh. May working visa issues eh. If you're just a tourist, may mga issues if you don't have a working visa. So, ganun. But don't plan for, gawin nyo na lahat ng mga hard choices, all the risks while you're young. Do it na. Kung alam ko lang na 2 years lang pala yung Spain, I should have spent 2 years in Spain, apply for the citizenship, and, you get dual citizenship, di ba? My kids now would be dual citizen. Hindi ko alam yun eh. Now, I know you guys can take advantage of it. They colonized us. Why not, own something in Spain naman ba? The other way around, di ba? Mura, the food in Spain is cheaper than in the Philippines. So, and of course, kung naubusan kayong pera, may call the parents naman. So, but you have to plan for it. I think you can plan for it mga 3 years and do it. Of course, you could probably do it earlier, but realistically, most people can like save a war chest for 3 years. Kahit nga mag-call center ka ng 3 years, yung mga high earning but save the money. And then after 3 years, you go. Experience the world with other people. Just remember though, na you always have to give back. After 10 years na successful ka na, Tesla now is $100, maybe naging $1,000 na Airbnb. If all your investment works now for you, then you have to give back. Yun lang ang ano ko sa inyo. You have to give back to the Philippines kasi a lot of the young people don't go back eh. So do all your things that you need to do, then go back after 10 years, and then teach naman the next generation.
Grabe, sir. Ang dami ko talaga naging possibilities for my career kasi
Of
sa totoo lang,
course,
sir.
yes.
Yes, sir. Kasi sa totoo lang, I haven't really thought about my career po. Pero ayun, feeling ko yayaman ako dahil sa...
English, mga travel bloggers, marami
Opo, sir.
teaching
Ayun.
Korean.
Mag-ready na ako mag-aral ng Spanish. Pero ayun, sir. Oh my God. So, ayun, sir. Lastly, I feel like traveling is not just traveling for you and also for a lot of people po. So my final question, unless otherwise Sir Ree has another question po. As a traveler, in what manner do you usually give back to the community po? Like, for example, when you are going to Spain po or visiting a community on other countries po, how do you give back to them po?
Oo. For me, and that's why we do what we do. We tell their stories online. So that's why we continue to be content creators for 17 years now. Kasi when we go to Spain, you go to Malaga, you go to other places, or even here in the farm at San Benito, we try to tell the story of the people that we meet, why why meeting them is awesome, or why is this place, what are the latest places to go. Um and kasi yun exponential. If I do a blog post now and a reel, that post and reel will be seen forever. Now if you think about it, you give, let's say, 100 pesos sa kanila, or let's say 1,000 pesos, bigyan mo sila 1,000 pesos. Siyempre, tuwan-tuwa sila ngayon. Pero igagastusin lang nila yun. Wala, you don't really, of course, you help out for the moment. That's also important. But what I'm trying to do is help out forever, by creating that piece of content that convinces people to, go and visit this place, meet this guy, like si, Spark of Madness, si Simran. This girl is real good. Her vegetarian food is really good. So anywhere you go, try to experience. Parang ganon. Just one piece of content. So I always do storytelling in all our content. I know there are a lot of people who do like parang hacking lang the algorithm. I guess that's their thing. But for me, it's really about telling the stories that matter when we travel, that you should meet. And, by the time, siguro, when you search for places and destination, hopefully our awesome planet comes up, in your searches, or, when you look for it in Instagram. And then you get to experience that. Our content are read by a lot of people, watched by a lot of people, so we help a lot. We know it's our effect is exponential, especially when we travel. So kaya rin we try to master our craft, the storytelling craft. We want it to be more engaging, we want it to be more meaningful, even if you're just telling a simple story na and why people should care about them. Yun, that's the best way. And then of course, we try to expose our kids to these destinations. So hopefully when they are your age, 21 na sila, they make their decisions to help those destinations and give back to the Philippines.
Thank you, sir. So I think that is the final question. I'm just more of going to compliment you right now. Um, yes, we want to compliment you. We want to give thanks for the time that you gave to us today. I know it's six. I know you're a very busy man. You're a family man. And salamat lang, sir, from
Oh,
Philippine Travel Expo. So you were
yes.
one of. Sir, you told us that you were doing projects, right? And this is
Mm.
for Miss Johara and those people that are watching that would want to email you perhaps or contact you for future passion projects or want to get started somewhere. And
Yes.
I think
Yes.
during this event, you were able to build your authenticity and your tenacity for your passion. I think that's the gist of your character na binigay niyo sa amin this event. Your authenticity for passion, your tenacity for passion. So kudos to you, sir.
Thank
So
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
of course you're very welcome. And yes, how can we contact you for future
Yes.
projects?
So we you can always visit our website, our awesomeplanet.com. And for Facebook, in Facebook, in Instagram, TikTok, it's all our Awesome Planet, including Pinterest or TripAdvisor. It's all our Awesome Planet also. So reach us. Maybe the best would be the blog and Instagram. I answer all my DMs in Instagram, and even those hidden requests. So we try to, answer all of them. And those people who email me in the website. So you can check out the website, our awesomeplanet.com. It redirects to our awesome.blog. That's our main website where we tell the stories that matter. So our if you go there now, so we tell the story of Mot 32, no? Why Mot 32 opened in Cebu, and why you should visit there, di ba? And experience those food. Ganon. So we do food travel guides. It's really for helping people travel better and experience food better. Kasi syempre, konti na lang yung pera mo. You want to, put it where the experience is really awesome, di ba? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again, once again. And
Thank you so much, sir.
oh, yeah, it's good na, I've been talking to, Gen Z hosts like you guys.
Yes,
And
sir.
oo, and ang ganda nyo rin magtanong, and tama yung tanong nyo, no, about how your generation can benefit. And do that, no? Kasi yan yung mga advice ko sa mga anak ko once. And I do hope a lot of people take advantage, di ba?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir Lee.
All right. Yes.
Oh, my bad. Again, that was very informative, sir, and engaging, Mr. Anton. Thank you for being our guest speaker for today. It's
Yes.
especially to those people na may same passion dito sa industry nyo. Like, especially yung mga audience natin, we have Sir Aldrin saying, looking forward sila to visiting visa-free countries. We have, again, the Baby Jane thanking you, sir, and so on and so forth. Partner?
Okay, so we will be uh what do you call this? Like, we are really honored to have learned new things from you, and I hope that you have enjoyed our event. And as our gesture of gratitude, you will receive an e-certificate from us. So, sir, can
Yes.
you read the citation, po, sir?
Yeah.
I got you. This certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Mr. Anton Diaz for joining the 36th Travel Talks by Philippine Travel Expo, given on the second day of September 2022, signed by our founder and our country manager, Mr. TJ Duson.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this. It's also an honor to share this with the next generation, and make sure, guys, to live an awesome life.
Sir, sir, can we ask for a photo of po saglit?
Okay.
Sige
Sure.
po. Can anyone please print screen it sa ating technicals? Thank you. So,
Yo.
okay, ayan. Again, thank you so much po for your time, Mr. Anton, and thank you for giving us valuable lessons about your travels po. And
Yeah.
those lessons are such a big help to those people who want to start planning to be travelers like me. And again, we are grateful to have you po, Mr. Anton, and for this talk. And uh, thank you for helping Philippine Travel Expo widen their horizon po. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Maraming salamat ulit. Thank you,
Okay, sir.
guys.
You're very, very welcome. Sir Anton, if you have any promotions, offers, shout outs, or messages to your family or friends or to your community, eto na. The floor is yours.
Yes, ako lang naman, please, follow our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook. And if you have email, register, no? We have a lot of people are registered in the newsletter of our Awesome Planet. So put your email there so that every time kasi we blog, it gets distributed immediately to all the people subscribed in the newsletter. So they get updated on the latest in food, in travel, in the Philippines. Of course, our main objective is to feature the best of the Philippines, and then our awesome planet around the world. No, we're always open for collaboration to help tell the stories of awesome experiences in food, travel, and any lifestyle. Just reach out. And we'll help you get the word out, and of course, we always want to meet new people, new experiences, and maraming salamat, to the ano lang to the Gen Z generation of the Philippines. Ayun lang. Hope we can help each other out. You guys. I know you guys have your own, like you like TikTok and other channels. Try
Yes.
to try to let's connect there where you want to be connected. We're building our TikTok channel also. So follow us in our awesome planet. Yun. That's it.
Again, thank you so much po, Mr. Anton. I have enjoyed your TikTok po. So, pinapanood ko po siya minsan. So, yes.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
Maraming
po.
All right.
Thank you, Sir Anton. It was a pleasure to meet you, sir.
All right. Maraming salamat.
All right, and that was Mr. Anton Diaz. Once again, pasalamatan natin si Mr. Anton Diaz for taking time for this event for us. Okay. Make sure to support Mr. Anton Diaz on his social media accounts. Just make sure to follow him and share. Positive tayo dito sa Philippine Travel Expo. Okay. Now, we try to push each other to good and pull each other up. Okay. Now, please support also our Tugigaraw Wedding and Travel Expo at SM Center Downtown Tugigaraw, happening on September 16th to 18th, 2022, and the Polog Wedding Travel Expo happening this September 23rd to 25th. See you there. Okay. Now, let's give thanks to our generous sponsors. Wedding Suppliers Association of the Philippines Incorporated, Accounting Portal Philippines, Alabang Real Estate Directory, Mobile Palenque, MedResult Medical Services, Philippine Workshops, OnlinePasalubong.com, Philippine Hotels Directory, Philippine Virtual Expo, Home Service, Philippine Agri Expo, the Real Estate Directory, especially Philippine Travel Expo.
All right. So, on behalf of the entire team of the Philippine Travel Expo, kila Sir TJ, Sir Kim, Ma'am Anne, Sir Ron, Sir Christian, Ma'am Marionette, sorry, Ma'am Baby Jane, Sir Aldrin, and the others, maging sa tech team natin na nakasama natin, we would also like to express our deepest gratitude to our guest speaker for participating at today's travel talks. We appreciate you taking the time to and effort to respond to our invitation to participate in this event.
Also, I would like to thank my partner and my co-host, Miss Johara. Good job sa ating dalawa. It
Thank
was
you
good
din,
having
sir.
nice chemistry with you. Yeah, it was great having chemistry with you. Thank you for staying with us up until this very end, and always say remember to new adventures. Once again, this has been your host, Albier Mitanyo.
And Jaharme Padilla. Thank you, stay safe, and may God bless our country.